We're here with Professor Juilene Osborne-McKnight, whose forthcoming book is titled The Story We Carry in Our Bones. Great title.
I dreamed the title, and I'm Celtic enough to believe that if you dream something, you really need to go with it. I mean, as you know, I've been teaching Irish diaspora, Irish history for 20 years, and I dreamed that I was teaching my students, and I had written a lesson on the board, and I turned around and tapped the board and said, and that, folks, is the story we carry in our bones. And when I woke up, I knew it was the next book I was going to write. The full title is The Story We Carry in Our Bones, Irish History for Irish Americans.
It's nonfiction. Is that a departure for you?
I mean, yes and no. My other 4 books from Macmillan have all been fiction novels, but I've worked as a journalist really my entire life, writing for magazines and newspapers, so taking that journalistic style into a full book was just a progression of what I've already done.
Can you give us an idea of its scope and its purpose?
Oh, sure. I wrote this book because I couldn't find one that I wanted to use to teach my classes that did what I wanted it to do. I could find books on the Irish-American experience, and I could find books on very specific aspects of the Irish experience, like Cromwell or Michael Collins and the IRA, but I could never find a book for Americans that looked at it from the bird's eye view. Here's something interesting. 40 million Americans believe that they are of Irish or Scots-Irish ancestry, but most of them don't know how they got here, why they got here, or when they got here. And in fact, it was the pressures on Irish history that brought us here. So I wanted a book that would look at Irish history and then contextualize it to the American experience and say, because of that, this happened, and your ancestors ended up here because that occurred in Ireland. So it's a book that looks at the entire scope of Irish history and then relates it to American Irish history.
How about an example?
Sure. Here's a good one. Oliver Cromwell, you've probably heard of him. He was a Puritan. He was the Lord Protector of England. He was horrible to the Irish people. And when he came to Ireland, he burned down all the churches, burned down all the monasteries, killed all the priests and nuns, and then he took 100,000 Irish men, women, and little children and sold them into slavery in Barbados and Bermuda. So to this day, there are a lot of Irish-descended people in the Americas, in Barbados, Bermuda, and the Caribbean, because originally they were sold there by Oliver Cromwell as slaves. So the very first migration of Irish people to the Americas was as slaves, and most people don't know that.
Wow, that is interesting. And the book, it comes out in the fall?
It comes out in the fall of 15 from Pelican Press, The Story We Carry in Our Bones, Irish History for Irish Americans.